Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Tries to Speedrun the za-khazi run. Kinda. So, after some backtracking, I now have everyone alive, and not one, but two charmed friendly slugs. AJ did get hit by some acid spit, but I'm guessing she got one stack, where Pinkamena must have gotten a few stacks on her, because instead of doing over 100 damage each tick, AJ only got like 30, then 20, then nothing worth speaking of. Anyway, onto the Vanitai, and I did not want to experiment with coming straight here before talking to Kasserbach and having to walk through these slimy tunnels any more than I have to. Okay, so you are a ponderer, and you can train me if I desire. Why not? Do have a few skill points to use here. I'll bump Alchemy and spell points on Fluttershy. Intelligence and spell points on Rarity. And Twilight, and Pinky gets nothing! Haha! And AJ has almost nothing I even want to spend points on. So she gets another level of priest spells, why not? Spell casting for everyone that's capable of it. And Dash also has almost nothing I really want to spend points on here. Maybe a little extra lore. She likes to read in her spare time. And you are Iglet, who also ponders and can identify things. And most importantly, can buy stuff I don't want. Really should sell off that magic shield, but what if I want to switch to sword and shield instead of dual sword? Smoky crystals so far has been absolutely useless in this game. Okay, that's all. Now to find the important person in these parts that I cannot actually do. I think I have to talk to someone else. Can you tell I've only been through this once before? Probably Iglet. Because I know the warrior down here does not like me. Oh wait, I'm silly. I wanted to talk to the Crystal Soul over here, but first I need to talk to this person in the commander's office. Zotirno. A warrior of great renown, I'm sure. Secret leader. Open the gate. Excellent. response is no. Okay, so there's that plot flag. Just a lovely quiet chamber of contemplation here. And one moment while I redo my selling and training of stuff. Because I reloaded my game to try and figure out what I did wrong, even though it turns out I didn't need to. But now we can leave this place never to return. How did you get out? And would you be more useful than the Vanavoy? Potentially. If nothing else, you probably have a ranged attack. Success! Will I use any of my summons in the upcoming battles? Good question. Might just stick with major summoning. Okay, now I need to go back down south for the boat. And I should be able to go straight on through here. Cool. I do notice something potentially of interest on the map here. I'm going to save just in case it's a waste of time, because it looks like I have to access it from over here. So the Vanatai Warrior is slightly cheaper than the Vanavoy. Interesting. Ooh, does the Vanavoy have poison attacks? That's marginally useful. Okay, the slugs are in melee range, so they shouldn't be using their acid spit. Yeah, Vanatai Warrior and Vanavoy seem about equal in terms of being useful. Capture souling them was not a complete waste of time. Passing this rubble might be. At the lowest point of this long passage, you find a veritable sea of slime. Joy. It's a 50-foot wide pool of mucus-like substance, green and 10 feet deep. Ugh. Writhing around in the sea are many huge worms. Bigger than huge. Immense. 50 feet long each. They wiggle around in the slime, occasionally rearing up to grab a bat, lizard, or smaller worm. They seem unaware of your presence. Of course, you could pick a fight. Well, the sensible answer would be to just leave them alone and not go swimming in the pool of mucousy slime. Ugh. But of course, I do like to show things off in these games. You walk up to one of the closer creatures and start hitting it. It screeches an alarm, and soon you have all of the things on top of you. Yes, get them out of the slime pool and bring them closer to me. Great plan. 10 dark worms, that's kind of a lot. before I get my summon on this time. Apply Major Blessing, Blessing, and Cursing. As terrifying as these things can be, they don't have any ranged attacks. That's kind of nice. Zombie Vanatai, go! Wall of Blades, go! Don't really need to do healing right now. Slightly cheaper summon, go! Ooh, Dash is very poisoned. She must have gotten a bite. I vaguely remember these things might be resistant to magic. Because of course my bestiary doesn't cross over between, scenarios. Or when I finish a scenario and restart it. Yeah, I think they might be resistant to magic. See, now it's much more worth my while to cast Revive All instead of just reviving one person. I could maybe stand to cast another Wall of Blades. It's kind of hard to see the swords on this background. Probably the one complaint I have with turning the cave floors light gray instead of vibrant neon blue. Yeah, I think my wall of blades is gone. Well, it's still in this spot, but it's definitely fading. Yeah, I might want to do some reviving now. Summons. Summons, where are you? Have you disappeared? They can do that. Dang it, guys, stop getting bitten. Oh, that's one way to stop receiving worm bites. Holy crap! The worm dropped another power geode! Now, is this an item that shows up in Exile 3, or is it only for Blades of Exile and, potentially this scenario? I sure don't know. Steel gauntlets are pretty good. Bronze and steel armor, eh. Steel waveblade's pretty good. Ring of Will? Bah! That's bloody... well... I could say about that being endgame special equipment tier, but, we are in an endgame level scenario right now. Even so, yoink! Also managed to identify that one. You're covered with blood and muck, and every muscle in your bodies is sore. The last of the creatures is dead. Victory is yours. At first, you think that none of them have any treasure. Then you figure, since you're covered with muck anyway, you might as well look in their stomachs. Sure enough, you find a wicked curved blade, still in the sheath, inside one of the worms. And I get a wave blade, which I'm not going to identify right now. But, yeah, Ring of Will. Maybe I can use Mind Duel and not lose horribly now. I was going to reload my save and ignore the results of this, but that was sort of good. Ability, Will. And is there anything left in this special dot? Oh, no. Absolutely not. No. I'm only doing that once. And even though it's just one item... check it out! We got another alien blade! I could maybe have Dash unequip the ice shield and also go dual wielding. She's strong enough, I might just do that. Fire and poison. Let's see how enemies like that. What enemies are left in the fortress or palace of Koth, of course. But now I am rather more aware of what is in here, which should be helpful. Okay, right, have to figure out which belts take me where I want to go. Oh, I think Dash gets I think Dash gets 1 more AP now that she's not carrying a bulky shield. Because carrying double swords definitely makes you faster. Great. And of course I come in here right after casting Identify and not recharging Twilight's spell points. Oh, right, permanent Martyr's Shield. I do hate that. However, my fighters are also big bricks of hit points. So I can take a little extra damage. Woof. Prismatic Wand, is that any good against demons? No, it's Dispel Undead. Well, wait. Crystal Wand is Dispel Undead. Maybe Prismatic Wand is good against demons? Let's find out! Not undead. Darn it! Okay. Strong curses. Oh. Rarity's out of movement. Strong curses on the both of you. It also slows. This could be a good time for some invulnerability. Because I'm pretty sure the Wand of Charming isn't going to do me any good. Also, I could cast Protection and give at least one other character some invulnerability. Could also use the potions that I have hoarded. There, that cleans up my inventory a little bit. I have had protection for most of this scenario. My fighters are all invulnerable now, and everyone is magic resistant. Huzzah! Now eat some Ice Bolt. And some wound spells. And you've gotten yourself onto a conveyor belt, so I might need to keep track of where you are. Well, Dash's invulnerability did not last very long, nor did Pinky's, because weak invulnerability potions just only last a couple of turns. But that fight goes way faster when I'm not afraid to dish out large amounts of melee damage. No, come back, gold pieces. Bronze helm and a scroll. Okay. Really need to give this energy potion to someone who will use it. Okay, so that's you taken care of. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do something over in this corner of the map before I can get here. Maybe I found some sort of conveyor belt exploit? I don't know. Okay, let's wait for that to fade a bit. Oh no, golems! But oh hey, I'm still blessed and hasted. Yeah, let's keep one melee person keeping you occupied. And let's not get super bunched up. And let's try Mass Charming. I have charmed 1 Golem of Blades, 2 Golem of Blades, and the Ice Golem. Well, one of the Ice Golems. Cool beans. It's gonna be real hard to keep track of which Blade Golems are my friends. Okay, one of you is not. And by real hard, I mean slightly a pain in the butt, because I have to use my look command. Nope, that one likes me. I am no longer hasted. I should fix that. You are hostile, you are friendly, so you are keeping that one busy. Good. Yee. Okay, Ice Golem is friendly. You're friendly. You're friendly. You're not friendly. Yay! Battle complete. Also, I could have used Mind Duel on one of the Ifrits earlier, and I did not even think to do that. Silly me. Wait. Locked. May I unlock? I may. Oh wait, the door was right there. Okay. Well, despite being able to skip over a bit of this dungeon, Koth will talk to me. Let me see. Okay, Vanitai he respects. The Sliths... The za-khazi are lizardkin, so I feel some affinity for them. I have given them some knowledge for use in the battle against Exile. It amuses me to do so. Gee, thanks. Yeah, I think I saw that one in the scenario editor, and did not actually put it on the recording. So now it's there. Anyway, tribute. I have a couple of treasures. Koth sniffs the air around you and thinks, "Ah, yes, you have Morog's scroll of draconian history. For years now he has taunted me with it. Give it to me, and passage is yours." There you go. So Koth will always prioritize the dragon scroll if you have it. Basically, he loves the dragon scroll, he likes the crystal of purity, and he will accept the Melora opal. And I never did go back and get the crystal of purity because I'm a fool. Can always do a little bit of backtracking. Except if I do that, I might have to go through the gauntlet here again. Huh. Well, while I'm doing dumb things... I have reason to believe that I might actually be able to get something over here. Of course, I will also get very toasty doing so. You can probably use the scenario editor to look at this map and figure out where all of the danger tiles are and maybe take a little less damage. And yes, the pile of dead sliths to warn you, this is very much a trap. I suspect that Rarity will be more okay here on account of having the prismatic plate. So let's give her some backup with Twilight possessing mage lore and also invulnerability. And I can indeed do protection again. And let's see how much damage I take now. Grit your teeth and try your best to survive. Okay, two of my frontline fighters are completely shredded, but Rarity is barely alive. Cool. Yes, that is good, Miss Garnet. Oh, really, again? Okay, it, does just keep happening. Perhaps these are not the glyphs that I can pass through. Where was my last save? Ah, before Koth. Well, let's just go get that prismatic crystal then, shall we? Crystal of purity thingy. I tell you, it's amazing the things you can completely forget about when you take a day or two in between recording sessions. Okay, now who do I want to go in? Anyway, Kasserbach, I have some bad news for you. He screams in fury, does not apparently take his rage out on me, but will offer no help of survival if I choose to pursue the reward. That's fine, I am slightly overpowered at this point. Now, I can certainly try to stay on the path and use the map to do so, or turn the lights on. But since there's only one person in the party at the moment, protection makes everyone invulnerable to damage. Yay. And I even managed to dodge all of the golems. Living statues, whatever. When you walk through the door, the first things you see are bones. Piles of them. They're very long and delicate, with large, rounded skulls with huge eye sockets. It doesn't take long to figure out what they are. Vanatai remains. Worse, they were clearly killed by violence. Some are scarred by fire. Others have been crushed by weapon blows. Kasserbach must be even more mad than you thought. He's been killing his own people. You find yourself face-to-face with Kasserbach's heavy squad. They're Vanavoy. They're sort of like Vanatai zombies, only much worse. We'll see about that. Major Blessing feels a little overkill on one character. Only 3 Vanavoy. Meh. And a few crystals to make this a little more worthwhile, perhaps. Anyway, that's all I can do in this building. It does not connect to the other 2. Do I want to use protection once more? Not that much more damage. Okay, it's kind of a lot of damage. But hey, now I freed up some inventory space. Oh, hi. You are really not a threat. You might be slightly more of a threat now. Yeah, waste all your spell points on failed summons. Hey, now. Could have just used a kill spell, but where would the fun in that be? I thought I couldn't move through secret passages when I was in combat mode. Maybe I just can't open secret passage doors. That sort of makes sense. Okay. And that's one annoying thing totally bypassed. Now then, to try and remember what order these are in. Click, click. Dang it. Click, and victory. One crystal of purity added to my special items. Okay, Koth's Fortress, take 2. I might cut this out and cut back in if anything interesting happens. And since I do have the Ring of Will... Mind Duel? I win! Just barely, but I win! Oh, out of invulnerability already. Meh. Rarity and Fluttershy are getting pulled toward a couple of drakes. That's not ideal. But I can just use some party positioning shenanigans to fix that. Yay! Wand of Kuranos. Okay. Make sure everybody's healed up. Save the game. Right, I do need to go this way. Oh no, golems! How will I ever deal with you? Oh, I only got one that time. I may have to recast. Instead of cursing, I'm going to slow you. What do I want Twilight to do in this situation? Oh crap, I forgot that one of the blade golems was friendly and I made him mad again. There we go. How many did I charm on that one? 3 blade golems and an ice golem. I'll accept that. That ice golem. Ooh. Rarity is very much out of spell points right now. Okay, you're friendly, you're friendly, you're friendly, you're not, and you're not. Take an assassin's blade to the face! Yeah, I'll just let the golem sort this one out. If I had literally any foes after this, Some golems could be real good to capture soul on. Okay. I will examine all of these runes just to see if any of them are different. Initial searching suggests no. But what if I waste a little bit more of my time? Well, I can at least experiment with a few more runes before getting dead. Of course, I could look through the scenario editor more thoroughly, but it's kind of annoying to see how the programming works there. Okay, no, just not worth going through any of those. I've learned my lesson. I'm not trying them multiple times. Should that be happening? Oh no. It's because I did the hurt an innocent thing. Now everyone is mad at me. Sometimes the way this game is programmed is really a pain. And of course I made my last save after doing the stupid thing. So I bet Koth's gonna be mad at me too. Maybe? Oh, right, out of spell points. Koth is indeed mad at me. That's not good. I do not want to try fighting Koth, especially not when I'm lower on resources than I would like. I might need to do a little bit of fixing here. Let's see. Make towns forget me. Let's see if that works. Monsters have reappeared. Angry guards have forgotten you. If you are in town now, the game will still remember what happened in this town. Oh no. Oh, good. I used the character editor to get myself out of town, and it did say that things I've done in town will not be remembered. Fortunately for me, the monsters I've slain did not respawn, and behold, the spirits do not hate me anymore. So that didn't take as much time to fix as I feared. Anyway, Koth is friendly. Talk to Koth. Offer Koth treasure. Give Koth scroll. Koth carries on as if nothing has happened. Wonderful. And now for another interlude in the scenario editor. Turns out there's a few more things that I missed when talking to the dragon Koth. And I've pulled up the scenario editor to show them off instead of fighting my way through his palace again. Also, I'm intrigued to notice that Town 1 is Cunning Crypt and not Fort Goodling, the starting point. Maybe Fort Goodling is Town 0, I don't know. But that's not the town I want to look into right now. Okay, yeah, 0 to 22, so Fort Goodling probably is 0. I imagine number 22 is going to be Fort Cavalier. '21 is also Fort Cavalier. I guess one is success and one is failure state. Keep going downward from the end, and Town 20, Palace of Koth. Good. So let me open up that town dialogue. There is exactly one character you can talk to, and that is Koth. But it turns out I did not ask Koth more detail about their siblings. My siblings, Motrax, Pyrog, Athron, Sulfurus. Ask about Motrax, the oldest of us, slain by humans. Ask about Pyrog, furious and uncontrolled, slain by humans. Humans are a pesky breed, never should be trusted. Yeah, so Pyrog being slain by humans is possibly justifiable. Pyrog being more aggressive. Motrax being slain by humans is a tragedy. Ask about Athron. She has just had a brood of hatchlings. One can only hope they will carry our line to every corner of the world. And Sulfurus. The strongest of us all, if not the smartest. Heh. I have not seen her for some time, but I know she plans a powerful reckoning against you humans for the inconvenience you have caused us. I wonder if Sulfurus gets featured in any fan-made scenarios. That'd be cool. Okay. Aha. So, if you come to Koth bearing treasure, you get a special pop-up dialog box. If you come without an appropriate treasure, you get this. Koth sniffs the air. We dragons can smell treasure, and I can tell you have nothing that would be of use to me. Leave, and return only when you have wealth. I shudder to think how much time you would waste backtracking far enough to get something Koth actually wants. Okay, and everything else is just empty slots. But there's not just dialogue, I can also look into town text. Yaha! The scrolls in this rack are dedicated to religious rituals from all times and all races. One of the scrolls is of extra interest. It describes how to raise people from the dead. Unfortunately, it's written in a rather obscure tongue, and you are unable to understand several key parts of the ritual. Not wanting to risk angering Koth, you leave the valuable scroll behind. Wise choice, that. And that is the same message Except the follow-up is different. I am assuming one for if you can pass the mage lore check, and the other if you can't. The paper is old, cracked, and faded, and the ritual is described in peculiar and hard-to-understand terms. Fortunately, your trained eye picks out key details. You can now cast the spell Resurrect! Assuming you have Resurrection Balm, of course. Which, by the end of this scenario, I do not. I don't have the recipe, I don't have the potion. So, yeah. Cool, but I can't make use of it even if I actually want to go get this in another playthrough. Okay, I guess, if you tell the statue that you don't have any... If you tell the statue towards the beginning of the dungeon that you don't have any treasure, he says, "Fine then Koth has no interest in seeing you. You can easily depart to the south, and can return when you have something of value. The invisible wall of force remains." So yeah, I don't know if that is something you can say no to and then re-trigger and say yes. Maybe you can just leave the palace and come back very quickly and say yes, that would make sense. But yeah, at that point in the game, I did not feel like messing around with the wrong answer. "You humans are so foolish. You have already paid me, and when it suits me, I am a creature of my word. Go to the north gates, and the way will be opened." Maybe if you try talking to Koth again or something? I don't know. Refuse to give Koth a treasure? Koth shrugs, his huge scales shifting and creaking. "Fine then, you can rot here." There is even a message for if you somehow manage to kill Koth. Well, Koth sure didn't expect that. He falls and dies. Another of their arrogant race has been and gone. But we wouldn't do that, now would we? And that is all of the text strings that I can find that I have not already read. And now, back to our scheduled rescue mission. Oh no, half of my time has elapsed. We've just hit day 11. And now that game is no longer ruined. Ah, this is the damaged rune, which I'm able to pass completely unharmed. How about that? I don't have to go through a horrible gauntlet of pain to get the resurrect spell. I just have to examine every single frickin' rune in here, or know exactly which one is different somehow. Thanks, Jeff. I could steal some books. And now I can cast Resurrect! Not that I actually need it anymore, but cool. And the others are impassable. Okay, I finally have all the things that I wanted to take with me. Good. Pass through the wall, mysteriously lose memory. Right, so this isn't that bad. I do not have to deal with the massive slith battle when I can just stroll right through the poppy shrooms. Hooray! Fort Goodling by day 11! And I'm sure I could have shaved off at least 2 days from that count by engaging in somewhat fewer shenanigans and backtracking. Huzzah, the day is saved! Your mission has been triumphantly completed. Do you go back to Exile? Yes, we do. Exile has won a major victory, and they have you to thank for it. The end. You make an effort to sell the Crystal of Purity. Most people have little interest in it, sages included. Aw. Fortunately, you find a traveling mage who sees how useful an item it could be. He gives you 1,000 gold for it. A man of good taste. The malachite statue from the worm pit turns out to have had some unpleasant, malevolent spells placed upon it. You don't say. Fortunately, this makes it of great interest to some local mages. They also give you 1,000 gold for it. Hooray! Now I have completed the za-khazi run again, gaining a little bit more gold this time. And that is the end of the original, official Spiderweb scenarios. I hope that you all have enjoyed getting a bit more of a look at some of the nuts and bolts here. And until next time, have a good one, and take care, everybody.